Hello and a huge welcome to this video. I'm Scorpion from How to Do. And in this video we will be learning how to add a jet inside of our GTA Android game. So in the previous videos we made a car. We also added this guy so we can also shoot him, and we added all these animations so we can do that, and the camera zooms in when we aim and he can also die, and yeah, cool. And we can also aim, the camera zooms out when he comes out of the aiming mode, and then he can also walk around with his gun. He can also aim and unaim and then he can also put it back over there, and then he comes back to the normal mode so we can walk around. We can also run around, but I cannot do that like simultaneously. So we can also get inside the car with the animations, and there he is dead over there. So we can also of course drive the car. Okay. Oh man. And we can reverse, and the camera looks back like that, and he is sitting inside the car, and we can of course get out of the car like that with the animation of course. And if you want to learn all of this, then you should go ahead and click the link in the description box below and see the previous videos. So I have made all of that. So yeah, let's get started. Okay, now this is what we made in the previous videos. So yeah, if you haven't seen them, go ahead and click the link in the description box below, see them first, because if you haven't seen them you won't be able to understand what we are doing over here. All right, okay, so in the previous videos we added the standard assets guy, and in which we have the vehicles and the we have car and aircraft. All right, so we already have added this car, all right, which is this one over here, and we just have changed the mesh of this car to this car. And if you want to learn how to do that, go ahead and click the link in the description box below. I will have the link in there. Now what we need to do is we need to add this aircraft, and it is really cool, and there are different type of aircraft. So there's a jet, there is a AI jet, there's also a propeller jet. All right, so as you can see there are propellers over here, so there's different models. This one does not have any propellers, it has a jet over here at the back, and there's also a propeller AI. And AI means artificial intelligence, which means they will just fly by themselves, and I will make a tutorial on how to set up that, but for now we will add a jet. And how we will do that is just drag and drop the jet inside over here, and there we go. All right, so it's already set up. So as you can see, if I sorry, of course, but if it will not work right now, it will of course, but not properly, because there is no it's moving by itself and we cannot control it right now, and it's a mess. So we have to do something like to control this guy. So basically we have to do the same thing what we did with this car, all right, but a little differently. So what we have to do is we have to first go ahead and add a cube over here, a trigger. So let's just go ahead and say 3D object cube, and it's over here. So let me just go in here, and let me just cover the area where the doors or entering point will be, like where you enter the jet. I don't know where to get inside. I have never gone inside the jet like from here. Of course, here's the door, but I think we will get inside from this portion. So yeah, doesn't matter actually. Let me just cover all of this area. So when the player comes in this area, let me just go ahead and make it a little bigger. When the player comes in this area, and then a certain button like this one will appear, and then we can get inside the jet. Okay, and of course we don't want to see this guy inside over here like that. Of course we don't want that, so we can just remove these two components, mesh renderer and mesh filterer, just like that. Now it's just a cube. Now the thing is that when we come inside over here, and when we come over here, we will just be stopped by this invisible wall. All right, so we don't need that, so we will just go ahead and say is triggered. So now there's no collision inside, but the collision that will be recorded somehow. Like the player will not collide, but it will not be affected with this collision. All right, so he can walk through from here, but it will detect that player is inside. All right, something like that. And I will call this cube trigger, because it is a trigger. As you can see, it is a trigger. And now what we need to do is we need to say FSM. FSM. There we go. Now if you don't see this, then it means you haven't installed or imported FSM Playmaker. So if you haven't done that, go ahead and click the link in the description box below and download that first. And if you have some problems that how to do that or how to import and install it, or you're having some kind of a problem, then watch my first video on how to make GTA series. The playlist link is in the description box below. Alright, now we have this one, and let's just go ahead and say edit. Okay, now when the game starts, we will be in this state. Alright, now the thing is that I don't do any coding, so we make games with this FSM, which is a state machine. Alright, so it's really simple. So if you want to learn all of this, then go ahead and subscribe to my channel. Okay, and now what we need to do is when we start the game, we don't want this guy to move. Alright, and how we will do that, come out of and disable them first, so he will not be able to move at all. Alright, so as you can see, it's not moving at all, like it's still. But when I enable these two guys, he starts to move automatically. So that is what we need to do. We need to disable these guys when the game starts, and when we come over here and press some button over here, then this will enable. Alright, so let's just enable that for now, and we will disable them from the script, and that script is FSM. So when the game starts, we want just make sure you lock this guy. Alright, lock, and then come over here and then drag and drop this guy in here. Drag and drop it, and then you will find these options. You have to say set property, and there should be enabled over here, enabled, and this is true and this is false. So enable will be false when the game starts, and you have to do just same thing. So Control C, Control V, and this time we will drag the second script. Yep, and then Control C, Control V, third script, Control C, Control V, audio script, audio script, where is it? I'm sorry, where is it? This one. And then Control C, V, and landing gear. So we don't want to land, of course, when we are over here, or we can just delete that because it doesn't matter, it automatically works. Okay, so 4 scripts, these, this, and this, and that are disabled when the game starts. And then we want to say trigger, trigger event, trigger event, and the game object is the user owner, which is this trigger. All right, so user owner has the trigger, and then the trigger info collider tag is player. So as you can see, when I go to player setup and player, we have this player tag over here. Make sure your player has this tag, otherwise it won't work. All right, and send event, we want to go and say get button or anything, like press the button, press, add transition, press, make over here. So what is happening is that when the game starts, we disable all of these. All right, we disable all of these scripts, and then we say whenever the player enters this area, which is this area, whenever the player enters this area, we want to come over here, and when the player enters over here, we want to enable this button. All right, this button. So what we can do is we can just go ahead and find the button. So it is over here, car door. All right, so we will be using this one, or we can make a new one, but I think I should use this one. All right, so we come over here and say activate game object, and the game object which we want to activate is a specific game object, and that is this car door. Come over here and activate it, and Control C, Control V, make it to the top, and it is disabled when the game starts. So all right, when the game starts, this is all deactivated, and when we come over here in that area, this area, we activate this guy, and then we say get button, or how to do get button down. All right, so if you don't see this how to do get button down, because this is the action which I made by myself or by using the scripts. So if you haven't seen, if you haven't downloaded that, then the link to that is in the description box below, and you will find it there. And that is how we made this joystick canvas setup in the previous video. So we made all of these buttons. All right, and let's just go to the car door, and you can see the button name is enter. So let's just copy this name and put it over here. So make sure the spellings are the same. All right, enter, enter. And then if we press this button, then it means we want to get inside the chat. And yeah, and we're gonna say enter, enter. There we go. And at transition, enter, and we're gonna come in this state. Grab this guy, put it over there. And the thing is that when we come inside of this area and then we get out of this area, we will be stuck in the state. So we don't want that. When we come out of this area, we want to go back to this normal state. And how we do that is we say copy trigger event, paste it over here, and on trigger exit, which means when the game object with player tag exits this trigger area, then we're gonna finish. Control click and there will be a finished over here, and send event finished. There we go. All right, okay, cool. So let's just quickly check it out. So I'm gonna go ahead and put it over here and play the game. All right, and it will take a lot of time moving there, so let me just go ahead and grab the player and bring him over here quickly so that we can see the players over here and the area is over here. So when we walk, make sure you see in the FSM if it's working or not. All right, so if you walk inside, we get this guy, and we can also see this guy, and we can come out of there. This button disables. When we come in here, the button enables, and when we press this button, we go to the third stage. So yeah, it's working. And what I want to do is I want to grab the two guys and bring it over here so that we don't have to walk around all of the map. All right, cool. So when we come in here, we want to do is we want to copy these guys and we want to activate that, right? So copy selected actions and paste them over here and just enable them. All right, not disable them, just enable them. So enable, and enable. All right, and just do that so that we don't have to see this. All right, so as you can see, it says set enable to false when we game start, and when we come in here, set enable to true. And also we want to disable the character because we don't want to see him when he is riding the airplane, right? Like if we get inside the jet right now, as you can see, it will start to move. But we don't want to see this guy. Of course, we want to see this whole big guy. So we of course want to disable this guy, right? And we want to disable the camera as well, because when we get inside the car, we enable this camera. So we have to have some kind of a camera for this big guy. So how we would do that is by adding a new multi-purpose camera. All right, so let's come back, and we also imported these cameras over here. So if you haven't downloaded these guys, so you can come in here, assets, import new import package, and here as you can see we have cameras, and we also imported vehicles. All right, and yeah, that's that. We don't want to import in cross-platform input because we already have done that. Because when we import the vehicles, it already does that. Go to cameras, prefabs, and there we have this multi-purpose camera. So you have to just go ahead and drag and drop it over here. So as you can see, it positions itself, and we want to position it with something like that. All right, cool. And then what we can do is we can go, all right, it's already done. So let's just go ahead and say protect camera from wall clipping. Make sure you do that, and then we're gonna come inside and select the camera and move it back a bit, and then move it up a bit, up a bit like that, and maybe like that. All right, so now we want to enable this guy instead of that camera. All right, and we also want to disable the whole camera setup, which contains the camera base plus the player. All right, so we want to do that. We want to go to the air jet, and we want to select the trigger and edit. All right, and when we come in here, we want to activate game object, and we can activate and deactivate game objects using this function. So specify the game object, and we want to deactivate the whole camera setup, the player setup, so that has the camera plus the player. All right, if you just, there's a player inside there and the camera. All right, okay, nothing much, and we want to deactivate that, so go ahead and do that. And we want to copy and paste it. We want to enable or activate this multi-purpose camera for the jet, which is this one, as you can see. So we want to activate that, and let's see what we get. Also, we want to deactivate that when the game starts, but that is already done. So when we get inside the deck, okay, so it's working, but the camera is not set up quite nicely, so we have to do that. So grab the camera, bring it up a bit, and then copy component and get out of the play mode, and then paste component values. And now if you play, it should work actually, but it won't, of course. Okay, get inside the jet. Okay, so that's not the reason, so I think it will be with the pivot. Move the pivot a bit up, and then if you play now, as you can see, it's working. Okay, so select the pivot and copy component. Oops, get out of the play mode and paste component values. Now it should nicely work. Of course, there is no control for the jet, so we need to do something with that. We need to add some kind of a control for the jet. Of course, we cannot control it with this joystick or these guys, so we don't need these guys at all. Okay, we can do it. Alright. Okay, so now what we need to do is we need to go to cross-platform input and prefabs, and there you can see there's a mobile aircraft controls. So if you drag and drop it in here, this is the actual mobile aircraft control. All right, so we need to do that. We need to enable and disable them also. So how we can do that? We do the same thing as we did with the control car tilt controls. So we can go in the jet and trigger, edit, come in here, and we want to activate the aircraft controls, which is this mobile aircraft control. Enable that, and we also need to disable the joystick canvas, which is for the player. All right, and which is for this third-person character, and that should work now, I think. And of course, we need to disable that these guys, the multi-purpose camera and the mobile aircraft. Copy that and paste them over here, so that when the game starts, both of them are disabled. So make sure you do that. There we go. Now it should quite nicely work, and as you can see, it will disappear automatically, as you can see. And then we can get inside the jet like that, and these guys are enabled. Now we can control this jet, like move up and down like that, and of course we can also rotate. So it's working quite nicely. Of course, we need to get out of the jet, so in order to do that, we have to have some kind of a button. So we can just go ahead and copy this car button, which we made in the car tilt controls. As you can see, it's over here. This one, not this one, this one. So we can just copy that, go into the mobile aircraft and paste that over here, and then we can disable the car tilt controls and also disable the joystick canvas, so that we can see it is over here. So when we press that, we should get out of that. So let's just make that. Okay, let's go back to the trigger, which is over here, edit, and we want to say get button down again. So just copy this one and paste it over here. So when we get button down, the same button, as you can see, it's the same one. Where is it? Mobile aircraft and car button. As you can see, it's the same one. Enter and enter. When we press that again, we want to get out of the car. So let's make a new event and say out. All right, or exit, anything. Transition and out, and make a new state over here. Now what we need to do is we need to do the opposite thing what we did over here. So I think I should copy all of these, like copy and paste and invert the, like if it's true we want to it false, like it's enabled we want disabled, 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 and then we activate the game object which is player, we deactivate the multi-purpose camera, we deactivate the mobile aircraft controls, and we also activate the canvas setup for the player. And then we come back to the normal state, which is next frame event, which means when we do all of these we want to say finished. So finished, when we do all of these actions we go over here. All right, and I think it should work, but so it's really difficult for me to land this guy because the plane is a little too small. So let me just go ahead and increase the size of this plane. And now if we play the game, and I'm gonna mute the audio so that we don't have to hear this jet. And when I try to do that and fly it a bit, fly it and then stop. Okay, so as you can see, when we get out we remain in the same area where we are, like that, and we are still over here, and the jet has gone, so we are not going along with the jet. So we want to do something that we can, okay, so we want to parent ourselves with the jet. So when we get inside over here we want to parent this player with the jet. All right, so how we'll do that is say parent, set parent, and the parent we want to set is the player specific game object, the player setup, and the parent which you want to set is the aircraft. So there we go, and I don't want to reset anything, and there we go. And then when we get out we want, okay, Control C, Control V, and we want to say nothing. All right, so none, nothing. We want to set the parent of the player to nothing. All right, cool. So now if you play the game you will see that it should quite nicely work. Like I can get inside the jet, I will not fly it, and like come over here and then exit, and there we go, the jet goes like that and we are over here. Cool, so that is quite nicely working. That is going, and then it will stop. All right, as you can see it has just stopped. Where is it? Where's the jet? Aircraft, and there we go, he has just stopped like that. So that is really cool. Okay, so where are we? Where's the jet? There we go. So now the only thing we need to do is we need to change the mesh of this jet. All right, so how we do that is we go to internet and find some suitable 3D model. Let's say jet 3D model. Oops, my caps lock is on. Jet 3D model, free download, and we can just click the first one and there should be a suitable jet for us. Like so I went in and found this one, and that is really cool, so I will just download this one. This one is also cool, but it's max file, but we cannot use that, I think, in Unity, or yeah, so I will just go ahead and download this one. So I will have the link to download this in the description box below, and you can download that from there. And when we download that we have to extract that, so I'll quickly do that and just import it inside of Unity, or I will do it in front of you so that you can see what's happening. I'm gonna extract that, and it's in my second screen. So, and what's its name is it? CR, right? Where is it? Where is it? CR. There we go. So here we have it, F15C. All right, and we have it over here. Right, so this is the one with the materials, so I'm gonna just drag and drop it inside of Unity, inside of our assets. There we go, and it's gonna import it and take some time, so make sure you relax. It's gonna take some time, but there we go. There we go. Alright, so it is over here, and the 3D model is this one. Go to model, and this is the 3D model, and that is really cool. And there are two different type of the things, I guess, but this one looks better, so I'm gonna just drag and drop it over here. So as you can see, it is pretty cool. I'm gonna rotate it like that, and then what we have to do is, I think these two guys make the mesh. All right, these two guys. So this one has the body and this one has the wings and jet. So what I think is we don't have to do that, we just have to delete both of them. Or before we do that, I'm gonna go ahead and drag and drop this edge or eagle inside of here, and I'm gonna say reset and rotate like that and bring it a little up, I guess. Yeah, up a bit, and there we go, it's already set. Okay, make it a little bigger, a little smaller, it doesn't matter actually, but okay, so this is good. Now we can just delete both of the mesh like that, and there we go. Now we have this fighter plane. Cool. And one thing what we need to do is we need to set the colliders correctly, because this is the capsule collider, so it should be somewhere over here. Let's just make it over here and bring it like that. Left body capsule, it should be a little smaller for us, like that. Our nose should be like this one, so you can just set them like that, right? So you have to go in each of them and make sure you just set them quite nicely. Okay, so I'm gonna just go in and set them. Okay, wheel right should be somewhere over here. Left box is good. Nose sphere should be here. Make it a little smaller. Then wings, make them properly smaller a bit, like that. And we don't need that, I guess, but I will just bring it over here somewhere like that. And it's up to you how do you set up the colliders. Make sure you do that so that you can cover all of the guys. All right, so as you can see, when I select that, it's quite nicely covered each and every part of the jet. All right, so that is cool, and I think I will have to move these guys a little upper like that. There we go. Now the colliders are set. The particles, we have to set them. Let's just go to particles, and there are two different burnouts, and we have to set them over here. One is over here, and the right one comes a little inside. So as you can see, when we come over here, we also have to make them a little up. So as you can see, it looks pretty cool. Yeah. And the vapor system, vapor trail, I don't know, we can just set them over here. Okay, and trails, let's just go ahead and set the trail one over here and the second trail over here. They should be where the the wings end, and that is that. All right, and the only thing I need to see is that the trigger is already set. That is cool. Okay, so now if you play, you will see the mesh of the plane has changed a whole lot. So as you can see, it is pretty cool. Okay, we can also get inside here and play, and as you can see, it is working quite nicely. The jets are like that, and we can also move it up and down and up and down, and also rotate it like that. And yeah, and of course we can get out of the jet. Okay, so that is that for today's video. Hope you guys enjoyed my video. If you did, then subscribe to my channel, which is how to do. And if you want to learn anything else, make sure you leave some comments below. And I think I will end this GTA tutorial series pretty soon, because I'm getting really bored of it. and I want to make something else like super casual games and hyper casual games for Android that you can actually publish on Android or Play Store. So yeah, I'm gonna end this GTA series. So that is it, pretty much it that we'll make for the GTA for Android. So yeah, so I hope you guys enjoyed. If you want to support me, you can donate me some money through PayPal. The link to that is in the description box below. And yeah, that is that. Hope you guys enjoyed, and I will see you in my next video. Till then, be cool.